Had started. Vunindogoloa village, Korvalau, the first village in Banwalepu, has to be relocated this year because of rising sea levels. Planning officer Mr. Alipatya Bolalebu said, and I quote, construction of houses at new site had already started, unquote. A number of villages in the north are being affected by rising sea levels, including Budalebu, Vunindogoloa, Vunisabisabi, and Narikoso in Kandavu. The master of ceremony, panel of judges, principals of various schools, invited guests, fellow orators, and my dear friends. Good morning, namaste, salam, and isambula to you all. The theme for my oratory is impacts of climate change and global warming on personal, community, and economic development. To specify this, the topic for my oratory is impacts of climate change on all living beings. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, impacts of climate change on all living beings. Dear friends, according to Wikipedia Encyclopedia, climate change refers to any distinct change in measures of climate lasting for a long period of time. In other words, climate change means a major change in temperature, rainfall, snow, or wind patterns lasting for decades or even longer. The term climate change is often used to refer to changes to our climate arising from human activities of the industrial age. Every year, since 1976, the Earth has been warmer than the 1951 to 1980 average. Since 1880, the average global temperature has increased to 0.8 degrees Celsius. Two-thirds of the warming since 1880 has occurred since 1975. Increased warmth has also affected living things. For example, the Japanese keep a very detailed record on the blossoming of their Tokyo cherry tree. So they know they are blossoming 5 days earlier on an average than they were 50 years ago. Also mosquitoes, birds and insects are moving north in the northern hemisphere, which means that colder regions are now warming. According to recent science and impacts report from Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, small island states have characteristics that make them especially vulnerable to the effects of climate change, sea level rise and extreme weather events. These includes deterioration in coastal conditions, for example, through erosion of beaches and coral bleaching, which is expected to affect local resources, example fisheries, and reduce the values of this destination for tourism. Sea level rise is expected to exacerbate inundation, storm surge, erosion, and other coastal hazards, thus threatening vital infrastructure, settlements, and facilities that support the livelihood of island communities. Communities, agricultural land, tourist resorts, and associated infrastructure are concentrated in coastal zones, which are particularly vulnerable ecosystems. Climate change will cause a significant rise in sea levels by 2050, resulting in many nations facing the prospect of total inundation. Many Pacific nations have already been impacted by rising sea levels, including Tuvalu, islands in Vanuatu, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, the Federated States of Micronesia, and Papua New Guinea. King tides are already flooding islands across the region. The contamination of groundwater is a significant threat to our Pacific neighbors, reducing agricultural production and the availability of drinking water. It has been estimated that the fresh water supply for some Pacific islands could drop up to 50%. Now this is a cause of alarm for us here in Fiji, because such an effect will be detrimental to our people and our beloved nation. According to a 2006 United Nations program report, some of the region's islands could lose half of their mangroves by 2100, with climate being one of the major factors. Climate change will have a dramatic consequence for agriculture. Water sources will become more variable. Droughts and floods will stress agricultural system. Food production may shift to other places, and crops and animals affected by changes in temperature and rainfall. Fiji's Minister of Health, Dr. Neil Sharma, reported that the likelihood of dengue fever, typhoid, leptospirosis, and diarrhea outbreak has increased tenfold after extreme weather events like tropical depression and flooding seen earlier in 2012 in Fiji. He says spreading brings communicable diseases to those affected. Here in Fiji, dengue fever, diarrheal diseases, and nutritional related diseases were all shown to be linked to climate change and have the potential to worsen with increasing climate change and variability. Dear friends, What next? What can we do? Here are examples of 4 technologies that could save 4 billion tons of 4 wages of carbon. Some of these we could do right away, while others are based on technologies still being studied, such as capturing and storing carbon. Firstly, reduce vehicle use. Half the miles travelled by the world's cars in 2055. Secondly, CCS electricity. Capture and store carbon from 800 coal power plants or 1,600 gas power plants. Thirdly, forest storage. Halve global deforestation and double forest planting in 50 years. And lastly, sewage storage. Apply carbon management strategies to all of the world's farm field. This list represents only some of the possible strategies, but choosing strategies will not be easy. However, the longer we wait to reduce emissions, the higher the target will need to be and the more adaptation will be necessary. Finally, dear friends, I urge you all, please take this day as a milestone. It represents to reflect the fragility of our civilization and the planetary ecosystem on which it depends. Rededicate yourself to the task of saving our future. Talk to your neighbors. Call your legislator. Let your voice be heard. We must take immediate action to solve this crisis. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, but now. Thank you.